Want some more glazing ideas? Hi, Marie here from Pottery Crafters. This kiln opening includes a few new glazes and some underglaze techniques. It's a great way to get ideas for your next glazing project. Links for the glazes and other videos are listed for you down below in the show notes. This kiln was fired to cone 5 with a 20-minute hold. Let's take a look inside. I made this planter with Amaco No. 11 Amix Stoneware white clay. I applied 1 coat of Amaco Obsidian, then 3 coats of Amaco Indigo float. I glazed this planter similar to the one in the May kiln opening video. For that planter, I applied oatmeal on the rim. For this planter, I applied more Indigo float on the rim. I applied 1 coat of Speedball Clear on the bottom, then only 1 coat of Speedball Clear on the inside. Some potters choose not to because it helps absorb the moisture in the dirt. Others glaze the inside to extend the life of the planter. I love this glaze combination. Of course I'm going to do it again. I made this mug with Amaco No. 38 Stoneware white clay. I did the trace and transfer technique for the guitar with black Speedball glaze. I have a video on the trace and transfer technique. I left the link for you below in the show notes. After I bisque fired this mug, I did the splatter effect with red and black Speedball Underglaze. Then I applied 2 coats of Speedball Clear glaze on the inside and outside. I really like the splatter effect. Gives it a nice abstract look. And the handle was done with black and red Speedball glaze also. I just put 1 coat of clear on the bottom. I love how it turned out. I'll definitely do this again. I made this candle holder with Amaco No. 38 Stoneware white clay. I applied 2 coats of Amaco Honey Flux on the inside and the outside of the candle holder, and 3 coats of Amaco Textured Turquoise only 1/3 of the way down. It flowed really nice. So with both the Textured Turquoise and the Honey Flux, it sure does flow. That's a good thing to keep in mind if you do this glaze combination. To really bring out the swirl pattern on the bottom, I applied Speedball Blue Underglaze. I really love this combination. I'll definitely be doing this one again. Now this small planter was made with Amaco Amix No. 11 Stoneware white clay. I applied 1 coat of clear glaze on the bottom and on the side, and clear glaze on the attached saucer, and clear glaze on the inside, just 1 coat. 2 coats of Honey Flux on the outside of the planter only. Believe it or not, this is Amaco Purple Crystal. I applied 3 coats of the Amaco Purple Crystal only on the top 1/3 of the planter. I think it flowed nicely. I am surprised that it turned a dark blue. Take a closer look. See the purple in there and the white? I like how it turned out. These planters with the attached saucers are fun to make. I have a step-by-step video on making these. I left the link for you below in the show notes. This candle holder was made with Amaco No. 38 Stoneware white clay and Amaco Glazes Seaweed and Oatmeal. I really like the pattern that the oatmeal made on the seaweed. The oatmeal flowed all the way to the bottom. Now with the flowing glaze, you do have to be careful because it can plug up these holes. But I still think it looks good. I made a pattern on the bottom also and used blue Speedball Underglaze. I always like to try and decorate the bottoms when I can. The only time I can't is when I wait too long and you can't trim or do anything to the bottom. Nice. This jar was made with Laguna Speckled buff clay. I applied clear glaze on the bottom, just one coat. Then Mayco sea salt on the inside and halfway down the outside of the jar. Then I applied all Amaco glazes. One coat of obsidian on the bottom half of the jar. One coat of sapphire float on the bottom. 2 coats of indigo float all the way to the bottom. Artic blue on the top, and a little bit of snow all the way around. The lid to the jar, of course with the same clay and glazes. Laguna Speckled buff clay, Mayco sea salt, the obsidian on the top part of the lid, sapphire float, indigo float, touch of snow, and Arctic blue. I think it turned out pretty good. This bowl turned out really nice. First time using all of these glaze combinations together. Love how the inside turned out. I made this bowl with number 11 Amaco Stoneware white clay. On the bottom I applied 1 coat of Speedball Clear glaze. And the rest of the glazes are all Amaco glazes. I applied 1 coat of obsidian on the inside and outside of the bowl, then 2 coats of indigo float, 1 coat of sapphire float, then snow just on the rim, and honey flux just on the rim. Look at how it flowed. I love this combination. I'm definitely going to do this one again. Try it on a mug next time. If you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up anytime during the video. If you'd like to show your support, I have a super thanks button right below this video where you can donate to help with supplies and making these videos. Thanks for your support. My magic pepper shaker. What is a magic pepper shaker, you ask? You put the pepper in here, and the pepper is stored right here. You shake it, and pepper comes out. The larger the hole, the more pepper will come out. I saw Jessica Putnam Phillips make one of these, but she hand-built hers. I threw mine on the wheel. This pepper shaker was made with number 11 Amaco Stoneware white clay. I did the sponge and splatter technique with this pepper shaker with yellow and blue Speedball Underglaze. I have a video on the sponge and splatter technique. I left a link for you in the show notes below. And of course, you can't have a pepper shaker without a salt shaker. I made the salt shaker smaller because I use less salt than I do pepper. Made with the same number 11 Amaco Stoneware white clay and the sponge and splatter technique. and I applied 2 coats of Speedball Clear glaze to both salt and pepper shakers. I used Amaco No. 38 Stoneware white clay to make this cooking pot. It's great for steaming vegetables in the microwave. On the bottom I did a swirl pattern with black Speedball Underglaze. I applied 3 coats of Amaco Albany Slip Brown on the inside, the outside, and the handle. Then I applied 2 coats of Amaco Lustrous Jade, a third of the way down and on the handle. I applied 2 more coats of Albany Slip Brown on the rim and on the top of the handle to get this effect. It flowed a little down the handle. It almost flowed over, but it didn't. It's just beautiful. I really like this glaze combination. I've used it before, but I didn't put Albany Slip on the rim at the end. I'm glad I did this time. Nice. And of course you need the cover, which I use the same clay and glaze combination, of course. The Albany Slip Brown, Luscious Jade on the top. Then a coat of Albany Slip Brown just on the top rim here. Great little microwave vegetable steamer. This pet dish was made with Amaco No. 11 Amix Stoneware white clay and black underglaze that I applied with a sponge. The bunny was made with silk screen, and I applied red, blue, and black Speedball Underglaze. 1 coat of Speedball Clear glaze on the bottom, and 2 coats of Speedball Clear glaze on the inside and outside of the pet dish. This pet dish was also made with No. 11 Amix Stoneware white clay and silk screen with red and black Speedball Underglaze, and 2 coats of Speedball Clear glaze on the inside and outside of the small pet dish. Now this dish went past the leather hard stage, so I couldn't trim the bottom. My soap dish. This turned out really nice. This soap dish was made with No. 11 Amaco Amix Stoneware white clay and just 3 coats of Amaco Albany Slip Brown, and it created this great pattern. I love how the thin layers are darker and the thicker layers are lighter. Just a beautiful contrast. The Albany Slip Brown is one of my favorite glazes. How it flowed nicely. This glaze does turn out the best when you have a textured surface. Well, that's it for this kiln unloading. I hope I've given you some cool glazing ideas for your next project. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever a new video comes out. Now head on over to my sponge and splatter glaze video, or my 21 tips for brush glazing video. If you do, I get to play with more clay. Let's stay dirty.